In recovery, we discover something powerful, something many of us searched for our entire lives: equality. For so long, we felt like we didn't measure up. Some of us thought we were worthless, broken beyond repair. Others thought we were different, tougher, or smarter than everyone else. But addiction didn't care. It didn't care about who we were, where we came from, or what we had. Addiction is an equal opportunity destroyer. It levels all of us. Then we walked into Narcotics Anonymous, and for the first time we sat in a circle with people from every background imaginable, rich and poor, young and old, believers and skeptics, and somehow we all spoke the same language. We all shared the same pain. We were all equals. I'm Steve, I'm a recovering addict, and this is On Life's Terms. We're talking about the spiritual principle of equality in recovery, what it means, why it matters, and how it transforms our lives. The illusion of differences. Addiction fed us lies. It told us we were unique, that no one could possibly understand. Some of us wore shame like a mask, certain we were worse than anyone else. Others hid behind pride, convinced we didn't need help at all. We compared constantly. My using isn't as bad as theirs, or I'll never be as good as them. Either way, comparison kept us separate. But then we heard stories in NA that cut through the lies. The person across the room, different age, different skin, different background, described the very same fear that haunted us. Someone else spoke of desperation and sounded exactly like our own. That's when the illusion shattered. Addiction had convinced us we were alone, but equality showed us the truth. We are all the same where it matters. We are addicts, and we can recover together. What equality really means. In NA, equality isn't about being identical. It's about being valued equally. Here, clean time doesn't make one addict better than another. 30 minutes clean is just as sacred as 30 years clean. We welcome anyone who wants to stop using. That's it. It doesn't matter what drugs we used. It doesn't matter what our past looks like. No one is excluded. That spirit of equality is what allows a newcomer to walk in off the street and sit shoulder to shoulder with someone who's been clean for decades. It's what lets a person with nothing but the clothes on their back feel just as valuable as someone who has rebuilt a career, a family, or a home. In recovery, there are no VIP seats. Every chair in the circle matters, and every voice has something to teach us. From shame to belonging. When I first came in, I sat in the back, hoping nobody would notice me. I thought, if they knew the things I'd done, they'd never let me stay. But then someone shared my story in different words. Another spoke my pain out loud, and I realized these people didn't look at me with judgment. They looked at me with understanding. Equality taught me something I had never noticed before. I belonged. Not because I was perfect, not because I had earned it, but because I was an addict just like them. Equality breaks the chains of shame. It tells us, you're not too broken, you're not too bad, you're not too different. You are one of us. And once we accept that, we can finally stop running. We can sit still, breathe, and begin to heal. Equality in the traditions. Equality is more than how we treat each other individually. It's the foundation of how our fellowship works. Tradition 2 says, for our group purpose, there's but one ultimate authority, a loving God as he may express himself in our group conscience. Our leaders are but trusted servants. They do not govern. That's equality in action. No one person runs NA. We all have a voice. Decisions aren't made by power or popularity. They're guided by a power greater than ourselves, expressed through the group conscience. This protects us from the same self-will that fueled our addiction. It keeps egos in check. It keeps our focus where it belongs, carrying the message to the addict who still suffers. When we surrender control as individuals, that's step 3. When we surrender control as a group, that's tradition 2. Both are rooted in the same principle, equality through trust. Equality in sponsorship. Sponsorship is one of the clearest examples of equality in action. A sponsor isn't a boss. They don't make our choices or control our lives. They're just another addict, one who's walked the path ahead of us and is willing to share what they've learned. The relationship is built on mutual respect. A sponsor may have more clean time, but that doesn't make them more important or more valuable. And the sponsee is not less. They're simply at a different point in their journey. Together, sponsor and sponsee learn from each other. The sponsor is reminded of where they came from, and the sponsee is given hope for where they can go. That's equality, not hierarchy, no judgment. Just one addict helping another, side by side on the path of recovery. Barriers to equality. Equality is a principle we practice, not something that happens automatically. Our defects can get in the way. Pride tells us, I'm better than you. Ego whispers, I should be in charge. Fear says, I don't belong here. And judgment convinces us that some addicts are too sick or not serious enough. But when we let those attitudes take over, we start building walls between us. And walls isolate. Walls separate. Practicing equality means tearing those walls down. It means listening instead of talking over. It means letting every member have a voice, even if we disagree. It means treating the addict in the corner with the same love as the speaker at the podium. Equality reminds us that NA isn't about who we were, it's about who we're becoming. And we can only become who we're meant to be if we stay united. Living equality beyond the rooms. Equality doesn't stop when the meeting ends. It's a principle we carry into our daily lives. In recovery, we learn to treat people with dignity and respect, no matter who they are. The same compassion we give a newcomer in the rooms, we can give to the cashier at the grocery store, to a coworker, or even to the stranger on the street. Equality is remembering that every person has worth, just like we do. It's recognizing that our old way of living, judging, competing, controlling, only kept us isolated. Today, we can walk through life differently. We can listen. We can serve. We can see others not as obstacles or threats, but as human beings who deserve love and respect. And when we live this principle, it doesn't just change our recovery, it changes our relationships, our families, and even our communities. The rewards of equality. So what happens when we truly live by equality? We find freedom because we no longer have to measure ourselves against others. We find peace because we stop fighting to control what was never ours. We find connection because we see the addict next to us as family, not competition. And we find hope because we realize recovery is possible for anyone, anywhere, at any time. Equality tells us every addict has a place, every voice matters, every story counts. And as a fellowship, that unity is what keeps us alive. Without equality, NA wouldn't work. With equality, recovery continues to grow, carrying the message across the world. Equality is more than a principle. It's the heartbeat of recovery. It's the reason a broken person like me could walk into a meeting and find hope. It's the reason newcomers stay. It's the reason we thrive together. So, the next time you walk into a meeting, look around the room. Every addict there is your equal. Every voice matters. Every story is sacred. That's the beauty of this program. We recover together. If this message spoke to you, I invite you to join me on this journey. Subscribe to On Life's Terms for more strength, hope, and recovery inspiration. And remember, no one is above you, no one is beneath you. We are all equal. We recover one day at a time on life's terms.